Thanks for your applause. That way, if I don't get any more, I've at least got my quorum for the day. Thanks, Carol, for that wonderful introduction. It's so great to have been presented by such a kind colleague and prolific scholar. Thanks also to everybody who makes Radcliffe, Meredith in her absence, Sharon, Rebecca. Thanks to my fellows, those in my discipline and those not in my discipline. I sort of have a really fortuitous corner on the third floor where I can look out of my door into the door of an art historian, or shout around the corner to a computer scientist or fellow musicologist or sociologist. And I think that all those perspectives come together in today's presentation. I'd like to also thank my two wonderful research partners, Ben Sperling and Joy Nesbitt, for their wonderful work, including yesterday putting together the keynote for today's presentation. I'm gonna drink some water and then I'm gonna dive right into the talk. I apologize in advance, I'm a little bit over my time, but I hope it'll be worth the length. As Carol said, the title of my talk today is I Had to Flip This One: Music Memes and Digital Antiphony. While this afternoon's presentation explores a distinctly 21st century musical practice, it begins in an unlikely place with a brief snippet from gospel artist Cassie Etter George's 1964 recording, Walk Around Heaven.
One of these mornings won't be very long. You will look for me, and I'll be gone. I'm going to a place where I'll have nothing to do. I'll just walk around heaven all day.
In this song, a prolific singer and composer intones a proleptic meditation on the afterlife. Through lyrics that commingle grief and celestial bliss, George's description of social absence becomes a counterintuitive source of praise. Because of his expressive multiplicity, Walk Around Heaven is a traditional musical selection for the kind of funeral rites known as homegoings. These are celebrations of life prompted by death. If this song's canonicity has exceeded its creator's wildest expectations, a recent reincarnation must have also eclipsed the borders of their imagination. This old song's new life is exactly the kind of thing I wish to talk about today. Early on the morning of Tuesday, November 26, 2019, I stumbled on a Facebook video posted 10 days before, a performance whose grip I have yet to escape. Let's watch it.
One of these mornings
In this 41-second video, Marvin Williams, a musician, amateur chef, and academic advisor at the University of Central Arkansas, gives new meaning to the treasured gospel tune with which we have been acquainted. In this post, William turns a song first recorded in the early 1960s into a parodic commentary on digital community, forms of collectivity experienced on and between social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Williams replaces Walk Around Heaven, the song's given title, with Because I Blocked You, a new lyric that functions as a song punchline. Because I Blocked You is a parting word to a former Facebook friend. Williams's musical joke means serious business. It calls attention to the centrality of humor to much online discourse, to the emphatic remaking of exit material that is the essence of much contemporary creativity, and to the technological apparatuses that enable this comedic fecundity. As such, Because I Blocked You lays bare a poetics for virtual music making. I find it so interesting that the transmutation of Walk Around Heaven into Because I Blocked You is accomplished by just 4 words, sung in just a few seconds, an ironic utterance that reinterprets the entire performance, repurposing its complicated sense of loss for comedic effect. Williams's creative intervention is manifest in a brief moment, an instant that injects new life into a song about dying. And I want to emphasize the way ordinary death and a specific socio-technical practice called blocking get commingled in this video. For through their conjunction, Williams's digital artifact asks its audiences to hold together multiple articulations of a single song, juxtaposing a phenomenal object against an equally urgent recollection, finding the meaning that resides in between. For Williams and others who were aware of this video's expressive ecology, the meme's central transposition proved quite affecting. Williams's wanton laughter illustrates the kind of response I had upon first seeing it, the kind of somatic reaction that orients my social media presence. Finding this video to be quite hilarious, I, like any other reasonable Facebook user, shared it, tagging my best friend Preston and a good friend and fellow musicologist Lauren. Other friends chimed in, registering their reactions to the video, confessing their sense of its humorous value and their resulting need to share it. Another associate tagged several of his friends, amplifying the conversation while extending the video's possible reach. Of course, we were not alone, for since November, this video has been viewed more than 133,000 times, sharing its humorous, platform-specific social critique with many who call Facebook a virtual home. So then, this afternoon, I want to grapple with a small slice of an ever-expanding digital archive of memes, GIFs, and virtual performances of mimetic musicality. In so doing, I consider 2 questions. First, what modes of creativity do these artifacts reveal? Second, what ways of listening do these potentially viral objects solicit? I'm going to suggest that the production, modification, and distribution of these contagious and often humorous forms is antiphonal. As such, digital antiphony names the logic of much contemporary internet culture. Digital antiphony is the emphatically intertextual and intermusical product and process of meme culture. Digital antiphony is a rich, emergent conversation that simultaneously materializes and refigures social categories and concepts like race and gender, belief and authorship. As antiphony's animating force, the meme reveals a digital preoccupation with form. The meme, then, offers one sense of what it might mean to be musical in the 21st century. The day after an uncomfortably close basketball game between UNC Chapel Hill and my alma mater, Duke, my Facebook timeline was full of posts that gloried in our team's narrow victory. One of them stands out. Post repurposed this in early 2000s Mississippi Mass Choir hit I'm Not Tired Yet as a resource for athletic gloating. This 11-second excerpt from one of the song's repetitive sections serves as an answer to the question, are you tired of watching UNC lose? This question and its musical answer form just the first level of this video's Antiphony. For while there are dialogues unfolding between this meme's ironic question and the choir's answer, between this articulation of the song and the video of his live recording, and between this particular meme and its many other possible forms, the poster names former football star and current sports commentator Shannon Sharpe in this digital statement. See that at the top there? At Shannon Sharpe 84. Placing this side of the meme in conversation with another one. Tracing this image to Sharpe's Twitter feed, I discovered an earlier version of the video, one posted last November. While Sharpe's video asks, are you tired of watching the Cowboys lose? Its close relationship to the UNC version is quite clear. These two digital artifacts constitute two of the many possible faces of an online meme. Two definitions of the meme will advance our discussion. Paula Harper defines meme as a constellation of material comprised of recognizable iterations of a particular pattern or form, sometimes with no particular single referent or point of origin. The second definition comes from Lamore Schiffman, who offers a three-pronged formulation, describing a meme as a group of digital items sharing common characteristics of content, form, and/or stance, B, that were created with an awareness of each other, and C, that were circulated, imitated, and/or transformed via the internet by many users. Both Schiffman and Harper clarify the meme's plural ontology as a set of articles whose coherence activates a dialectic of repetition and difference. But the notion of meme that is so central to digital culture can be traced back to a book about evolution. The Selfish Gene, a 1976 book by the ethologist Richard Dawkins, offers a speculative account of evolution. In this monograph, Dawkins sought to clarify that for which natural selection selects, arguing that rather than the individual organism, group, or species, the gene is the unit of transmission. The gene is the replicator whose survival drive motivates the behavior of individuals and groups. According to Dawkins, the gene's self-interest marshals the organism as a survival machine. Before concluding this exposition, Dawkins made a characteristic turn from biological evolution to the development of human culture. In search of an iterable unit whose generativity fuels human sociality, Dawkins revived the metaphor of the primeval soup, writing the following. I'll let you read that. From pronunciation to etymology, then, Dawkins' notion of the meme is defined in replicative terms. While its manifestations stretch across domains of human expression, their diffusion depends on a shared grammar. Even in its first statement, the form and function of the meme were described as living, as desiring a kind of virality. While Dawkins' theory has long been the subject of intense academic scrutiny, his notion of the meme emerged from the primordial stew of the early internet, mutating into the central engine of the culture of connectivity. Shannon Sharpe's aforementioned Twitter thread demonstrates the work memes do, specifically their capacity to provoke conversations that are answered by other memes, other GIFs. Here, as in countless other strains, you see artifacts that are shaped by their own internal dialogue, between a sampled background and an imposed text, they take their place in a broader exchange, one for which intertextuality is an insufficient rubric. How then to describe the chorality of the internet? How to portray its intermedial intensity? We can find one answer by scrolling down to a later comment on the aforementioned thread. Here, Twitter user FlavorBoyBeats commented on Sharp's imitative post, writing, quote, "I had to flip this one," and using an emoji indicating a kind of cerebral explosion. Thought you liked that. Flavor Boy's heteroglossic rejoinder, a statement presented in two languages, is both a response to Sharp's meme and a call to his own. Let's listen to his performance of digital Antiphony. FlavorBoyBeats' video comment flips the audio from Sharp's meme, slowing it down considerably and then dramatically interjecting a hip-hop rhythm track. Just as the rhythm track enters, Flavor Boy loops the choir's intensifying lyric, "No." So I'm gonna play it again to see if you can catch all those things happening. Don't want to break anything, so I think I'm flipping a speaker. This video sounds the intersection of multiple traditions and styles. For one, its looping rearticulates a fundament of both hip-hop practice and internet culture. Paula Harper's recent dissertation helps us to understand the centrality of looping to what she calls viral musicking. In it, she writes that the early internet content creators used assumed constraints of bandwidth and their own resources to create simple, absurd creations. The small unit repetition in these objects, born of necessity, rendered them musical. Often, repetition functioned to musicalize the non-musical, the barely musical, or the implied musical. Flavor Boy's decision to loop one of the choir's phrases resonates with the looping architecture of Sharp's tweet. What is more, both the loop that acts on Sharp's sample and the loop at work in Flavor Boy's flipped meme redeem the recursive dimensions of the song's original form. It's a gospel song with a characteristic gospel vamp. So then, unlike posts that use repetition to musicalize the allegedly non-musical objects, this looping practice uses technologies like the iPhone and apps like Ableton or FL Studios to turn a meme into a musical instrument. The resulting combination of content and process make a significant difference in the experience of the digital artifact. To see what I mean, compare this version to this version. The loop makes a lot of difference. Moreover, while the movement from video to audio in the flipped version might seem like a simple reduction, the intermedial reorientation it indexes is anything but limiting. Rather, the absence of the video in the flipped version amplifies the song's deceleration and internal looping, clarifying that this flipped post is indeed a novel presentation. The marked difference between the found meme and the flipped meme perform a kind of wrenching or scraping against the original medium, a feature of what Daniel Albright calls pseudomorphic art, forms which are asked to ape or do the work of some alien medium. While absolute alterity is beside the point here, transformability is the aesthetic center. For as Flavor Boy samples the sample, vamps the vamp, and memes the meme, he gives a sense of what flipping might mean. I'm taken by his words. He said, "I had to flip this one." What a phrase. What a confession. What an argument, a thought with which to tarry. I want to take Flavor Boy's caption seriously, not as a flash of hyperbole, but as evidence of a mind gripped, an imagination captivated, a capacity for musical creativity possessed, taken by something in the preceding digital object. If Flavor Boy's response to the juxtaposition of this gospel standard and this rivalrous refrain was an impetus to remake it, then the mimetic video might be said to have a kind of agency, a kind of thing power. Flavor Boy's confession calls to mind an interview about the interrelation of performance studies and visual studies, in which Fred Moten observed, "We've all had that moment. It is a moment that we treasure as people who are interested in art. You're walking out into the street and something just hits you. And as it hits you, it demands of you a certain kind of attention. All I'm saying is when something demands attention of you, in that way you should respect it. And one way that you respect it is by developing some serious protocols for how to engage it." In this discussion, Moten leans into the assertion that art might be rebellious, contending that there is an insurgency in the object that, as a matter of fact, turns out to be the very thing that attracts us to it. I wonder if we can use Flavor Boy's compulsion, his having to flip it, to think about the power of memes, even when they don't carry a conventionally sonic musicality. I guess I'm asking about the magic of the meme, or to invoke Marshall McLuhan's oft-repeated phrase, "If the medium is the message, what is the message of the meme?" What if the meme is an argument that our understanding of musicality can occasionally be too limited? Stranger things have been argued. Such a contention, when focused on Black digital cultures, would affirm Brent Edwards' view of Black musicians working in multiple media, not as autonomous areas of activity, but in conjunction, insistently crossing circuits, rethinking and expanding the potential of each medium in the way it is like and unlike the other. Of all the memes that have dominated my social media timelines during the course of this fellowship, two seem particularly noteworthy. First, there is the SpongeBob, "Aight, I'ma head out" meme. I didn't make it. Here, the character from the children's television show is used to depict a host of dramatic exits. Moving through the aforementioned sides of this meme, you could hear the differential impact of any particular image. The meme's comedic efficacy requires a lot of knowledge from its viewers. In this way, memes avow Lauren Berlant and Sion Guy's contention that comedy helps us test or figure out what it means to say us. If, as Elise Kramer argues, disagreement becomes a necessary component of humor, such that those who find a joke funny and those who do not are mutually constitutive groups that cannot exist without each other, then we might say that memes are especially illustrative of what W.J.T. Mitchell has called the visual construction of the social field. This screenshot from a YouTube search reveals a host of video compilations that are all about TikToks that, quote, only Black people would understand. This digital manifestation of what Spivak called strategic essentialism fuels the self-conscious interest in meaning-making that is central to the meme's ontology. Memes are hyper-significant. They are about the production, reception, and dissemination of communal knowledge. Memes are the emblem of digital antiphony. But returning then to the question of the image's insurgency and musicality, I want to ask what in this image might be said to motivate its mimetic replication. I want to contend that the answer lies in a graphical surplus. The movement of SpongeBob's body that haunts this still screenshot is that surplus. In the original context, from season 2, episode 12B, SpongeBob is actually sitting down. Don't laugh at my viewing habits. But the meme is built on the argument that he was standing up, right? He was changing the position of his body in order to hand out. Here, a kind of flipping takes place. An inversional logic turns an image into a meme. It matters that this is a meme and not a GIF, because if it were a GIF, the same kind of inversion would be harder to achieve because the extra bit of motion conveyed by that medium would belie the imported text, complicating the meme's life. Here, as in the general case, there is a friction between the image and the caption, which produces the sense of the meme's multiplicity. That is to say that adding a text to an image quickens an awareness that no single text can capture all that resides in the image. Thus, each item in the conversation works 3 times: by recalling previous versions, by presenting its own, and by projecting its possible futurity. This is what Lamore Schiffman meant when she said memes have to have an awareness of other forms. I want to suggest that it was this sense of the meme's possible future that gripped Flavor Boy Beats that caused him to say, I had to flip this one. So then if you accept my trichotomy of the meme's functions, that the meme is about, right, recalling previous versions, about making a statement, and about projecting a future, then a kind of betweenness emerges, a liminality that is key to the object's magic, its peculiar power, a power that is musical. For a clearer sense of the musicality of the meme, let's attend to another set of these, one that features a lady yelling at a cat. As this meme then juxtaposes competing pronunciations of letters and names, juxtaposes the first line of 2 national anthems, juxtaposes contrasting names for snacks and snakes, its formative dialogue becomes clear. In this meme, two others are conjoined. They are placed side by side. They are involuntarily thrust into a conversation that facilitates this opposition. Many such memes start on a platform like Reddit, but they trace an intermediate path across apps, such that the meme often becomes an agent of a different order of collectivity, one that is at the broadest level of our culture of connectivity. Thus, the meme crystallizes changes in our global media landscape that have profoundly affected, if not driven, our experience of sociality. The social experience of memes is musical, I think, in general, and antiphonal in particular. I arrive at this determination in 3 moves. I start with David Morgan, who contends that images are devices or instruments that interface with human beings in a very powerful way, because images respond to some deeply held perceptual behaviors among humans. I then return to the definition of the meme as essentially plural, as constituted through recursion, following which I call the meme a repetitive instrument. So then, if the meme is an instrument that plays human perception, and if the grammar of that performance is iterative, then the meme's emergence must be through a musical mode of attention. For as Elizabeth Margulis argues, when language is being repetitive, language is being musical. The meme's musicality shines through performances where conventional musicality takes on an explicitly mimetic form. Consider, for instance, an excerpt from Take Me to the King, a song written by Kirk Franklin and made famous by gospel singer Tamala Mann.
Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Take me to the King.
Consider this parody.
Take me to Burger King. I don't have much to bring. I'll tear a burger to pieces and some onion rings. Take me to Burger King.
But this parody is not alone. In fact, in order for it to be a meme, it must be plural. So then, gospel singer Darlene McCoy recorded an entire CD that remade gospel hits in comedic form. McCoy's CD was a kind of condition of possibility for a more intensely mimetic video performance by Jaden Arnold. But before we watch this video, let's meet young Jaden Arnold about 8 years ago as a gospel prodigy. So while he's still in elementary school, he has YouTube videos with hundreds of thousands of videos, right? setting a stage for a kind of virtual existence that shows up a couple years ago in a mimetic video like this.
Roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. What a dream, a dream of mine. I can serve a God I can call mine. He is my everything, my everything. The air that I breathe, the song that I sing. So when tests and trials come my way, I'll always remember how he kept my boat afloat each and every day. And I'll roll, roll, roll my boat. The breakers may dash, keep on rolling. I shall not sway, keep on, because he holding me fast, keep on rolling. I've come to ask you, keep on rolling. Are you anchored in Jesus? Keep on rolling. I come to ask you, keep on.
So, Arnold's fusion of the gospel style, which he totally has, right? And this nursery rhyme demonstrates his musicality and an imagination shaped by meme culture. Quite predictably, did a whole album, Gospel Nursery Rhymes. Many of the videos that served as sort of singles for the album were produced with an app called Acapella. Thanks to the generosity of my research partner, Joy, I can walk you through some steps of how this meme or something like it gets produced. Here's the meme on Joy's phone. I'm sorry, well, the app on Joy's phone. Apps might be memes too. So you get to pick the way the video will arrange the constituent parts of a song. And you can sort of choose the time, the duration of your video, and record each part as you go through with some kind of earphone to give you a sense of pitch and synchronization. You might recall seeing a cappella both on Jaden Arnold's video, but also on the video of Marvin Williams, with which we began. Williams participates in an online movement, neatly summarized in the title of this article. As these screenshots illustrate, the video with which we started is but one of many in Williams's virtual catalog. These videos don't just mean music, they also mean their creators. The depiction of multiple versions of each person is amplified by what Nicole Fleetwood might call a visible seam, by the line that marks the diverse unity of the video's constituent parts. This memeing of the self is crucial to Black digital culture. It suggests that what's often called the dialectical interpenetration of the individual and the social might not be only dialectical. For these plural selves on display in these mimetic videos index what Fred Moten, following Lisanne, has called consent not to be a single being, or what Denise da Silva terms difference without separability. I think that the ontological plurality of these memes and of the meme concept in general induces the kind of flipping that we've seen thus far. Just when I began to wonder if I was making too much of this whole flipping business, friends who know of my intellectual and political preoccupations wrote me, insisting that I find and watch this.
Look, I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. I don't know nobody else that's doing this.
And again.
Look, I just flipped the switch. Flip, flip. I don't know nobody else that's doing this.
This very recent TikTok video whose genre is eponymous with the Chinese-owned social media platform on which it originated, is billed as a behind-the-scenes look at Senator Elizabeth Warren's recent appearance on Saturday Night Live. While last weekend's cold open capped a week of electoral disappointment, this TikTok reveals a rather upbeat, perhaps unburdened senator dancing with the actor who so often portrayed her. While the caption, "Elizabeth Warren flipped the script on SNL," might seem to comment on the coincidence of Warren and her doppelganger Kate McKinnon, or on the sunny dispositions that defies projected affects, this TikTok is animated by many more forms of flipping. Like many items of its kind, this digital artifact has an antiphonal structure, an imported audio, and a composed video whose internal dialogue is palpable. You can hear that the flipping happens right when you have the flip, the light switch is flipped, and then the individuals are sort of rearranged. Most importantly, flipping the script on SNL participates in a challenge, a conversation through which countless TikTok users have given a fresh existence to Drake's 2018 track, Nonstop. The track's opening line is quite obviously shaped by call and response. You remember the two parenthetical flips that happen, right? It says, I just flipped the script, flip. I don't know nobody else who's doing this. There are then two levels of lyrical activity present from the beginning of Nonstop, resonating with the rhythmic track's particulate alchemy. But while Drake's lyrics say, look, I flipped the switch, and that I don't know anybody else who's doing this, the TikToks give lie to the assertion that nobody else is doing this. See for yourself.
Look, I just flipped the switch. I don't know nobody else.
In this TikTok, Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod show that they can do it too. But what is the it? In each presentation of this meme, an individual or group undergoes a thorough transformation within an extraordinarily compressed temporal frame. As the light switch is flipped, bodies, affects, and apparel are radically remade. In each case, the TikTok user is the sample who gets flipped. The Warren SNL video adds another dimension to this stream because it presents two versions of the same individual, a politician and a comedian, a baby boomer and a millennial, only to reverse their manner of presentation, critiquing the assertions of difference that might have been reified. Warren's video then is a lens through which to think about the syntax of a TikTok challenge. Most of these mimetic conversations feature dueling versions of an individual or users, dramatizing the movement between these varieties, problematizing rigid, stereotypical conceptions of virtual identity, amplifying the processes through which social categories are digitally materialized. TikTok's stated goal is to inspire creativity, and it's manifest in a host of challenges that invite users to enter a conversation, a mimetic discussion marked by music, movement, and text. These challenges are also an invitation to a kind of flipping, a call to produce choreosonic memes, performances whose production require much more than the making of images or videos. I'm quite interested in the exertion and the force evident in much of the content TikTok engenders, cases when the formal constraints of the meme inspire its replication. I'm particularly interested in the language that surrounds discursive threads like flipping the script. These antiphonal conversations are called challenges, and challenge is an appropriate title. Challenge names the affective labor, the drive, the energy expended to contribute a distinctive intervention to a specific dialogue. As such, the TikTok challenge epitomizes digital antiphony by aestheticizing virtual collectivity. Even if the juxtaposition of this professor and politician named Warren against Drake's propulsive song seems surprising, it's not without recent precedent. Consider, for example, this viral object.
I'd like to talk about who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg. Democrats are not going to win if we have a nominee who has a history of hiding his tax returns, of harassing women, and of supporting racist policies like redlining and stop and free.
In this example, a scene from a Democratic debate in Las Vegas, Nevada, this scene receives musical accompaniment. As you may know, this extracted scene comes from a particularly poignant moment near the beginning of that event, an interchange in which then-candidate Warren made a string of accusations against then-candidate Bloomberg. Within minutes, a Twitter user set a 30-second excerpt of Warren's commentary to a snippet of a track entitled Ether. While this injection of music into this already heightened bit of rhetoric intensified the experience of the clip, the important structuring similarities between Warren's speech and the engrafted music add to the efficacy of this viral performance. Ether is the name of the aforementioned accompaniment. Ether is a diss track that appeared on Nas's 2001 album, Stillmatic. As a diss track, its purpose was to escalate a long-running feud between Nas and Jay-Z. It was a kind of expressive enmity mediated by dueling diss tracks. So then, by weaving a snippet of Ether together with a viral segment of Warren's invective, the recreator commented on the tensions between the two candidates, likening their interaction to the artist's aforementioned beef. Now, this can be read in at least two ways, either as a way of minimizing serious allegations or as an acknowledgement of a rhetorical prowess that might be analogized to hip-hop's treasured flow. But there's still more to be made of the relationship between the speech and the music that collectively constitute this video. For when I listened to it, I noticed a moment in the middle where the emergent musicality of Warren's utterance becomes strikingly consonant with the rhythmic and melodic structure of the track. So, of course, I looped it.
Who has a history of hiding his tax returns, who has a history of hiding his tax returns, who has a history of hiding his tax returns,
One more time.
who has a history of hiding his tax returns.
This nascent intermedial resonance suggests that there were formal properties motivating the creative fusion of this speech and the song, a subject of much discussion.
Elizabeth Warren's attacks on Bloomberg not only making waves, but they actually went viral. A social media user posting Warren going after Bloomberg and setting it to a classic beat from the rapper Nas, which is a reference to a rap battle he had with another icon, Jay-Z. Now, this song, all you need to know about it is about dissing, bodying, or ethering your opponent, which is what this video here shows.
And horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump.
What you hear there is, and this has been widely shared today, a lot of people liking the idea that she's basically putting out a diss track on Mike Bloomberg.
One might speculate that this viral hip-hop performance conditioned Warren's participation in the Flip the Switch challenge. Taken together, they make for a new line of digital discourse, a hip-hop Warren. A discourse that is political given the gender dynamics of both mainstream hip-hop and presidential politics. Their coincidence becomes mimetic. If the ether track is the call, then the TikTok is the response. Given the centrality of timing to the production of humor, the TikTok, the etherization make for powerful expressions of what I call digital antiphony, but both of these pale in comparison to one of the strongest demonstrations of digital antiphony's commercial power. That would be Lil Nas X's mega hit, Old Town Road.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no
Built from a $30 beat purchased on a site called BeatStars, Old Town Road has been called a country trap song, a provocative juxtaposition of country and a hip-hop subgenre, an eclecticism inspired in part by the song's received material. Young Keo, a Dutch teenager, used beat-making software to produce this, using a banjo sample from 9 Inch Nails, a rock group, and a hip-hop rhythm track. It's important to note that platforms as specialized as BeatStars and as ubiquitous as YouTube don't function simply as venues for performance, but rather as warehouses filled with the raw materials for creativity. Lil Nas X initially posted Old Town Road on YouTube in December 2018, a virtual setting in which a TikTok user found it to be a goad for further creation, a metaphorical sample to flip. The first TikTok initiated a viral challenge, a TikTok challenge, that helped Old Town Road find its way atop the Billboard charts.
Whatever this song is or isn't doesn't seem to matter. It's resonating with everyone. From this teacher and her students to celebrities like Kim Kardashian and daughter Northwest.
Till I can't no more. Take my horse to
Even Keith Urban.
I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Lil Nas X definitely has special sauce because he decided he wanted it to go viral, and he did it.
While the Nightline coverage offers some sense of this musical meme's wide-ranging replication, one limb of the song's disseminated life brings our conversation full circle. In this video, the adult class of the Vacation Bible School, Todney, at Orangeburg, South Carolina's New Light United Methodist Church, offer a contrafact rendering of the song, singing in part, "I go to New Life Church on Highway 4. I'm gonna praise like I never have before." Bedecked in what seem to be cowboy hats, entraining their bodies to the song's rhythmic and harmonic foundation, and literally singing over Lil Nas X's audio, this group of churchgoers turned mimetic creativity on itself. That this video was captured during Vacation Bible School is important because this frequently week-long summer ritual typically sees attendees divided into groups by age, left to have conversations around a given theme, only to culminate each night's event with a class presentation to the full assembly. That the oldest group in the room would sing a gospel version of Old Town Road to the younger attendees certainly reverses some expectations, but it is not an affront to the logic of memes. In fact, unforeseen replications and appropriations of material is the entire point of the meme. It seems that this flipping unsettles assumptions about the relationship between age category and aesthetic preference, the kind of topic that matters in churches that aim to offer a kind of blended worship. What to sing during Vacation Bible School? The senior saints of New Light said Old Town Road. The stakes of this reversal, though comedic, could not be higher. They are in part about the survival of a community. Given the steep declines in church attendance, church membership, church budgets, the survival of progress of churches like New Life depend on attracting and retaining members across a broad age spectrum, such that a gospel iteration of Old Town Road is an extension of a musical meme that offers a vehicle to express a kind of openness that might be inviting. While I originally thought that I would conclude not with a thank you, but with a meme, that would ring a bit hollow today. This need to pivot raises an important methodological point, which is that studying memes feels a bit like trying to trap air. Today's viral object will be tomorrow's afterthought. This month's TikTok challenge will soon be a distant memory. Yet the artifacts left behind reveal a pattern, a cultural logic that is hyper-significant, preoccupied with the formal engines of human sociality. While reference and remaking are anything but unique, the speed and visibility of their current form is distinctive. Whether one's making a meme, GIF, or TikTok, or viewing or sharing one of these items, entering the conversation requires mastering a syntax, writing a metaphorical code that calls and responds to both the exigencies of the moment and the durable features of a culture. Digital Antiphony is the result of these virtual interactions, and this week's viral concerns have produced one final mimetic couple. YouTube and Facebook show these very quickly. This is John P. Key's song, Clap Your Hands.
When I think of his mercy and his kindness, all I want to do is thank him. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the sun, oh, clap your hands and say amen.
Clap your hands. This is the song's vamp. Now consider Kevin Johnson's meme.
Wash your hands. Go wash your hands. If you don't want corona, wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Wash your hands. Go wash your hands. If you don't want corona, wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. Wash your hands. Go wash your hands. If you don't want corona, wash your hands. Use soap and water. You better be hot. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
We can only hope that this meme fades soon. Thank you.